Yes, I am late. I'm late. I know, I understand. You all missed me very dearly, but maybe not as much as you missed my guest, Mad Stork. Hello, Mad Stork.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? Yeah, I got to apologize. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do the scheduling and stuff for the videos. Because right now I have 1 p.m. to 2:30 is what I generally do. Some days I do 1:30 to 2:30 depending on how prepared I am. But guys, I'm no longer unemployed. I start a job next week, so I'm gonna have to start figuring out what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to start doing late night shows, or I'm gonna have to start doing early morning shows or something. These midday
Pre-recorded
shows,
things, man.
these midday shows are. I don't think they're gonna work out. I think if I'm gonna be working and stuff, I'm gonna have to do early morning or later in the night. So I'll figure things out and I'll put a video out about it and I'll talk about it in my other streams. And then as far as tomorrow I don't think I'm gonna do a news stream. I'm gonna be at orientation for the new job tomorrow. So I will figure something else out to make sure I have content for you guys because I'm also going to be gone all weekend. So that means no deep dives, Mad Stork, no deep dives this weekend. I'm
I
going
was
to
gonna have
be.
to tell you I wasn't gonna be available anyways, though.
Well, there you go. That works out perfect.
Pretty much.
But it's also unfortunate because I was planning on having Noski on at some point, but that'll have to be next weekend maybe. But it's okay. Anyway, I was very unprepared today, so I almost want to give the reins to Mad Stork here since he
Please
he's
don't
the
do
one
it
who sent me
yourself.
all of the news that I have pulled up.
Don't give it to me, man. I very shallowly read things as I work, man. That's
I
that's
mean
what I
that's
do.
like the whole point of my show though, Stork, is like I shallowly read things and then I pull them up live and we talk about them.
Well, I mean,
You
do
you were
you.
you were just DMing me about a story. What story were you talking about? One from last night?
Okay, so I sent you a link last night. It was to the Brian Lunduke thing. I can't find his actual normal citations
Oh,
on
his
stuff, but
video about
yeah, the video
anti-piracy.
has some citations. You can pull it up and just show the thing or whatever. I can run you through what it is.
Show the video.
Yeah, not show. You can play it in the background muted, and we can just talk over it.
Okay. Let's see. I'm getting it pulled up.
It's going to be a redubbed version of it. We got to move our mouths like we're talking with him, kind of thing. So it's like some really bad Chinese martial arts movie. But yeah,
Okay.
you
So
you can mute it.
I
Uh,
have it muted.
yeah. Brian Lunduke is a really nice guy. He is one of those guys that when you meet him, you just know that he wishes the best for you, kind of thing. I met him in 2020 or 2021 after the pandemic was in full kickoff. It was the only North Texas Linux meetup in North Texas. He's a really good guy. And I met him with another content creator, Chris Titus, who does a bunch of tech stuff that's pretty cool and software security. Anyhow, what he found out was that the anti-piracy video that all of us, boomers or millennials can remember from the theaters, basically all of the content of that was 100% copyright infringement. So they would play this in the theaters. They would play it on the beginning of DVD movies and all of that. And it would be like, you wouldn't steal a car, so don't steal a movie. And it turned out that the font and the video and the music for the video were pretty much all stolen. The
for just a
video,
for just a ton of different movies.
oh yeah, like thousands of movies, man. This debuted at some sort of film festival, which is what it is he's talking about right here. And it debuted at the film festival, and the video may or may not have been licensed correctly, but the music was remixed by some DJ right there, Melchior Rietveld. He's a German DJ kind of thing. And if you kind of fast forward a little bit in the thing, it'll get to the font. So what's on his thumbnail and all of that stuff. This is the crazy kind of part right there. Yeah, you're right there. Pause it right there. So that font that is actually on the video, do you know the Python programming language? Like you don't have to know it, but do you know what it is? Like you've heard of it?
No.
Python. It's a programming language for computers.
Oh, Python. Is it for like coding and stuff?
Yeah. Like coding.
Okay. Yeah.
So his brother is apparently a very prolific, the guy who created Python, his brother is a very prolific font creator. And it turns out that the font that was used in this video was stolen from him and put in this damn video.
Wait, so the video itself is copyrighted, but the contents of the copyrighted video was also copyrighted, that had copyrighted font.
Yeah, like all of the transitions and like visuals in the video, that's about the only thing that can be copyrighted. Every single bit, the font, the music, the audio, any of that stuff is copyright infringed. He goes into detail later on in the video. Essentially, they show a PDF that went along with this whole campaign and was distributed to all of the movie producers, all of those things. And yeah, right there. So the FE, I think Confidential is the name of it. And then later on, he shows a PDF, and that PDF, you can tell which fonts were used in the PDF, and it was named something else, but it was a direct copy of FE Confidential. So some guy took this guy's font, renamed it, put it into a PDF kind of thing. It was just 100% stolen. So this entire anti-intellectual property campaign was stolen. There you go.
That's crazy. Yeah,
It's
because I
like
asked
the
you last night
craziest
because
shit.
I didn't understand what you were saying in the messages last night. I was like, how does that not fall under fair use? But I was thinking of like kind of like what we're doing. Like this is fair use. We're using this guy's video, but we're talking over it and stuff.
Well, I'll tell you what's even funnier. I think FE Confidential is actually just a free font you can use. Like I think it's open source. Like I think you're like able to go access it. But this guy literally stole it, renamed it, charged money for it, and then put it in a PDF.
Terrible, terrible.
Anyhow, you guys should check out Brian Lungduke, though. He does a lot of good work in tech and a whole bunch of other stuff. He has a Rumble, Substack, all of that good stuff. He's a good guy, just in general. I actually recommended that he move to my area where I was living in DFW. And literally 5 or 6 months later, there was a shooting at the religious place, essentially near where he was going to try to move. And so I was worried as hell that, maybe he like got caught up and all that. But it turns out he moved to like Florida or something like that. So it's pretty cool.
Nice. Well, I know you're short on time. So
Yep.
what stories do you feel like
Oh, shit.
talking about? Because I'll
Um,
talk about whatever, but I want to make sure we get to the stories you care about
I
first.
feel like you can pull Joey on for that TikTok thing. Let's talk about the China thorium bit.
Yeah, that one was interesting. Because I actually did read about that. The China thorium. It's a what is it? It's a reactor. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not the first thorium reactor. It's the first operational, commercial, or state-owned thorium reactor for actual energy production. The first thorium reactor was in the Netherlands for research purposes. So it was a tiny little one. And this is the first one to go on like a national grid. And that's essentially what this is. I think you could probably Google this and find another site that's not
I was gonna
locked down.
say this one's locked. I'll find another link. Well,
Apologies.
no, it's okay. But
Um,
no, this is interesting. So continue.
Thoriums essentially work off of something called a molten salt reactor, which are much safer than what our current nuclear technology would be. They're also a lot smaller. So if you think of like giant plants that are nuclear reactors today, where there's four main reactors and cooling towers, instead of something that large, you could work off of, let's say, two reactors. And instead of being the size of like a 10-story building, these would be closer to like 3-story buildings and really much smaller footprint. And because they're much less likely to melt down, have a lot
What do you
less.
think of this title?
Yeah, China first working thorium reactor using declassified U.S. documents. Yeah, that's actually not a theft thing. So the guy who actually created the uranium reactors back in the day immediately turned around and said, "Oh, thorium's actually a really good thing. We should switch to using this." And everyone said no. This was back in the mid 70s, I think it was. and they buried the research, and then it was declassified, I think, in the 90s or 2000s. And so it's essentially a rediscovered technology that the United States abandoned. So when it says they're using declassified documents, they are. Everyone is. Like Norway is doing this. France, I think, has one that they're building. A few other places are, and it's kind of a bigger deal. The big thing about thorium, though, is that it's really, really hard to turn into a bomb. So it's a nuclear energy that you could, for instance, let Iran have, and it would be a lot less likely that they would be able to weaponize the nuclear material.
Interesting. So
It's
it's just a safer alternative to nuclear.
Yeah, well, it is nuclear. It is nuclear energy, but it's a different kind of isotope essentially used in the process.
So
And it,
wait. So this is interesting here. Why thorium could change the future of nuclear energy? Thorium offers several advantages over uranium as a nuclear fuel. It is far more abundant in the Earth's crust and produces less long-lived radioactive waste.
yeah, so the amount of waste that thorium produces is like almost nothing compared to uranium. And if you Google real quick and pull it up on another tab, you can see world thorium deposits, like which country has this and that. But you can also Google United States has the or largest depot of thorium, because after the United States found out that thorium was a better fissile material for a nuclear reactor, they essentially started stockpiling the shit out of it.
But we don't use it.
Didn't use it, but we've got the largest stockpile, I think, in the world of thorium. Always been
Well,
around.
it says the largest known reserves of thorium are actually in India.
Yeah, they're in India, but the United States is like second or third for like.
It's followed by Australia, Brazil, and the United States. So we're
There we
like
go. There we go.
fourth largest, third largest.
Yeah. And but we already have a huge stockpile of this stuff. The funny thing about it is if we entirely switched over to thorium, we could basically power the earth for thousands of years, and we would never run out of energy.
Well, we have a YouTube commenter here, Amtrue13.
Yeah, yeah.
Thorium has been around for a while. They don't use it because they want the enriched uranium for bombs. Yeah,
Correct.
and that's what we're saying. We could start using this as an alternative and give it to places that we wouldn't want making bombs, and it'd be a lot harder for them to turn it into one.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing. I highly recommend it. The other thing is basically every large metropolitan area could have a mini thorium reactor. And so, for example, you could have one for Fort Worth, one for Dallas, maybe one or two for Los Angeles, two for New York or the New York metropolitan area kind of thing. And this isn't like some sort of giant construction project that's going to take 15 years. This is something they can knock out in 3 or 4 years. And again, the reactors are a lot more safe, essentially, than what the other ones are.
That
Um,
and the biggest thing with just nuclear energy in general right now is a lot of people fear, like, they've seen the what is it, like Chernobyl and other disasters, and
yeah,
that's all they ever think of when you bring up nuclear energy, even
right.
though it's relatively safe now, considering, but if we introduced this and we're like, hey, this is like, the other nuclear energy no one likes, but it's way safer.
Correct. And that's kind of the big thing about it. The other thing to consider is again, you can do this in essentially the footprint size of 6 or 7 trailers, like an 18-wheeler trailer, like box container. That's basically the entire plant. So, I mean, there are substations for electrical exchange. Like you see those big like power things where wires go in and out of, or like they have capacitor. You could have a nuclear reactor about the size of that. And the real trick then is you need land around it for security. The area for security around the reactor would be larger than the reactor itself.
So just to read some comments here, Shitty Gov says that your bird head is tripping him out,
I'm sorry.
and then Amtrue said that they found me because of Tim Pool, based, very based. Sick of Shitty Gov again says nuclear energy is the cleanest energy. That's how you can tell if climate change people are serious or not.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree. But if what we're talking about here, if thorium is actually safer and just as effective, then yeah, let's switch to that.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Uh, Amtrue says we have to go nuclear. Just stop building in geological sensitive areas that are earthquake prone. Right. You don't
Well,
want a reactor where there's a.
the salt reactors actually would be less prone to earthquake damage as well. So it's a whole thing.
They're just safer overall. Then
Mm-hmm. Essentially, what happens
is
is
there any negatives?
um, not that I can think of. Thorium reactors work at, I believe, a lower temperature than a uranium reactor, and if it gets too hot, you can actually have what essentially a valve at the bottom that once it gets too hot, it breaks the valve and it immediately dumps all of the water into a cooling tank. And so that's the salt water reactor, essentially, if you look into them more. So they're infinitely safer than a regular uranium reactor. And China now has the first active on grid reactor for this. And I just hope they don't screw it up because this is the best future of energy,
Yeah,
essentially.
we don't need another Chernobyl for people to point at and be like, look, that one doesn't work either.
Yeah, True. Is that True? Yeah, sorry, True. They are very difficult to melt down, but I'm not sure if the one that was built in China was a molten salt reactor. You can see there at the top line in the 1980s, American researchers built and tested many molten salt reactors, and I don't know if the one in China was molten salt or not. That's a question. You'd have to read the article.
No, it said it is, and then it uses
Okay.
thorium to heat it.
Yeah, there you go. There was a comment I read a couple of weeks ago that was basically, it's funny that after this many years, we're still basically just trying to heat things up to turn a turbine, though. Like it always comes down to how fast can we turn a turbine to generate power,
Right.
which is funny.
Yes, it's very
So,
funny, and I agree. Shitty Gov. Wind turbines are terrible. Um,
um,
I
wind
don't like
turbines
them.
are bad. VOTs are good though. Vertical axis wind turbines are way better
What's a
than
vertical access wind turbine?
look it up real quick. Pull up a picture. Pull it up, Jamie.
Look, look, look. What does this look like?
VAWT, VAUGHT.
Oh, wait, is it? I don't think I'm looking at. It's giving me multiple different ones.
Look up VAWT
VAWT. Okay.
and then just hit enter, and then you'll see a bunch of like
Is
these
it?
things.
Oh, can they be different sizes and they're a little bit
Oh
more
yeah, yeah.
round?
They look like egg beaters kind of thing. So
Okay,
you can
wait
have
here.
them as small as like
Like
3
this?
around. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then some of the larger ones are just freaking enormous. And so those don't kill the birds. Because birds can see those better because they take up more of a horizontal space, so they don't like fly into them. They generate pretty good power. They operate at lower speeds. You know, they just these are the things that everybody should have on their house, kind of thing. They make little tiny ones. That one picture, third from the left, top row that you can see right there. There's like a couple of different designs. Yeah, that one right there. So they make some that you are small enough you can pop on your house. And the problem
I throw
is,
one on my car.
actually, funny enough, there was a guy who did that. So yes, but they're also really popular to put on sailboats and stuff, and they work just fine as generators out there. So I know you got a fishing trip coming up, so something to
Oh
may
yeah,
look at is how those guys generate power.
definitely. But I know you got to get out of here, right?
Yeah, I need to go. I
I mean, you can
apologize.
stay if you want. You're more than welcome.
Um, Give me a second
No.
to send
o-
a message, and we'll go into another story.
Okay, yeah, we'll go into another story. But yeah, no. So crazy story. Definitely think the government, our government, needs to. I've been saying this for a while. Nuclear energy is just better. So if we have a safer way of doing it, please, if we're not going to switch to regular nuclear, can we at least switch to the safer one? Maybe. No,
Oh yeah,
we'll
yeah, yeah.
see.
Hydro
But
is great and true, but the problem is not everywhere has access to hydro. So
yeah.
a little bit of a problem there.
Correct. Especially in places like California, we don't even have water in general. But anyway,
Have you had enough water today, Tyler? Shit.
no, I just soda actually. But anyway,
There you go. This is
uh,
why he's got to die young.
look, that's why I look young. What do you mean?
Yeah, whatever. The water makes you old.
Okay.
That's what it is. The
Yep.
water
Water
ages
and
you.
sun make you old.
Oh hell.
That's what I've heard. I've been told. Anyway,
Okay.
while Mad Stork figures out if he's going to stay or not, yes, I'm going fishing this weekend. That's why I'll be busy. Deep sea fishing.
Yep, yep.
Trying to decide if I should record some clips or not. Make a montage.
Yep.
Could be interesting.
But yeah, no, I sent you a couple other stories. Just pick one. Save whichever ones you think Joey would be good for, and if he comes on later, you can do that.
He said he may.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see. Well, let's talk about okay, well this story is just ridiculous. Can you believe that Donald Trump started selling 2028 hats?
Ooh,
Donald Trump 2028, he started selling the hat.
that's
So
not even a
now
story I sent you.
now everyone's butthurt cuz they don't want him to run for a third term.
Um, you know,
I think he's trolling.
I think he's trolling too. I don't. I think he is self-aware enough to know that he's too old at that point to run.
And like I've said, if he runs for a third term, whatever loophole he uses, Obama will use.
Well, I've got a lot of questions on that one. I don't think that one's going to be as easy to pull off.
What do you mean?
Um, Something tells me Obama's out of politics now for a while. I don't
Well,
see him
I've
coming
seen a
back.
lot going on with him and his wife.
Um, so I've heard rumors they're getting divorced.
Well, what's called? Yeah, that's because of what Michelle's been doing. She's been going around talking crap about him, basically.
Yeah, and I mean I've seen a lot of other things related to that. I don't know that man has a political future.
Well, I mean, only time will tell. But we still got 3 years, guys. I rather see what Trump does in these next, because I mean, what we're now, let's say about to be 5 months in,
Yeah,
because well, yeah, January 20th, so 5 months, 5 months in, right? Just about
yeah.
4 months. Am I? No,
We're
I'm
about to
wrong.
we're about to be finishing our fourth month.
We're about to finishing
About
our
to have
fourth month.
that fourth belt or fourth month under our belt.
Yeah. So, and like we've been talking about on the Timcast, talking about here on all the community shows. Even Tim's mentioned it a little bit. What are they getting done? Like, I know we need to give them some benefit of the doubt, like Dave Bongino, but what it's actually getting done right now. I need to see some results, guys. Like, if next month we don't start seeing some big stuff, I'm gonna be complaining every day.
My biggest criticism is still essentially that they aren't deporting in the states that matter the most, that have the largest populations. I think I did the math the other day, and it was like 45 to 50% of all illegal immigrants are in two states, and the two states that they're not deporting from fast enough are California and Texas. And so once you figure that out, why the hell they're not in those two states just shooting fish in a barrel in terms of finding people, that should be the easiest place to fish for people to get deported. And I don't understand, they're starting in New York and Chicago and all of those places, and I'm just like, God, get down there in Texas and just start going ham.
Well, I mean, I agree. It's just in general at this point. In general, we need to work on upping these deportations. And look at that, our first Rumble rant from
There
back
you
in
go.
Blanco. Good to see you, man. Good to see you back in Blanco. Ostriches are birds. My
No, 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 no,
president.
no, 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 no. Don't
Oh,
read that. Don't read that.
don't read it. Wait.
Yeah. Don't read that.
Oh yeah, no, I can't read that one on YouTube, Blanco. Nice.
Can't read
Look,
that one on YouTube or
you sure?
Twitch.
You sure?
No,
Or on
no.
Twitch?
I know you can't read that on Twitch. I am pretty sure you can't read it on YouTube.
No one
Actually,
watches
you
me on
can't read it
Twitch.
on YouTube.
It's okay. No, I'm joking.
Okay. So be careful. Always read before you read.
Always read before you read aloud, I guess.
There you go. Always read before you read.
Look, now they're using my laughing emoji.
Hell no. Don't be doing that shit.
Hey, I'm sorry, Amtrue. You can't see it because they're on Rumble.
Oh,
Anyway, back to the
ooh.
hat. Um, yeah, no, I think I think he's just messing around. I don't know. Is there even a way for him to do a third term? There's not really. I mean, Amtrue said in the comments that if like he ran as someone's VP and then they resigned, but
That is
who would
technically
take the fall
possible.
like that? Like, you
Vance.
think JD would run just to become president and resign for Trump?
Yeah, yeah, because I think once you become president from your president resigning, don't you get to pick a new VP?
And then he could just pick him for VP.
I think that is actually possible.
That would be, honestly, that would be probably one of the funniest things in American politics ever.
Well, there you go. So,
I mean, all right.
he converted over because he wanted to see the
Oh yeah.
Rumble super chat there.
No, that's fair. Most people do convert.
I I've been on Rumble a lot more in the last, I don't know, probably 3 weeks than I have in the last 2 years. I think I've had a Rumble account for 2 years, and I've spent more time in there in the last month than I have in two
I,
years.
yeah, I've been trying to use Rumble more too. For example, like for a while, I've just been watching Tim on YouTube because he had the stuff on his website, but now he has it on Rumble. So
Yep.
I always pull up his show on Rumble now because it's like it just goes into it. And then even like every once in a while, I'll think like, oh crap, I need to switch to Rumble because it's gonna be on the after show, and I'm already on Rumble. I'm like, oh, I don't even notice the difference anymore.
You.
But anyway,
Anyhow, I
yeah,
do have to go.
I was gonna say you gotta go.
Yeah, she said 10 minutes until she needs to be picked up. So I have to go put on my new shoes and head out the door.
There you go. Well, what's called? Good to have you on, sir. Look forward
Yes,
to
sir.
talking to you again.
Uh-huh. Talk to you
Peace
later.
out. Peace out.
Yep.
That is
Bye.
Mad Stork. Goodbye, Mad Stork. What's the chat saying? Uh, that would be the only way Donald Trump becomes president again. Yeah, and that would be hilarious. Came over to Rumble because of Tim Pool. Screw YouTube. Yeah, Rumble is a lot better, especially for me as a smaller creator. I'm a very very small creator, and just looking at like my analytics and stuff like that. Rumble, you grow faster on Rumble. Like, I do nothing different. The only thing I do different on YouTube is that I do YouTube Shorts as well, which I do get some subscribers and stuff from the YouTube Shorts, but I don't get people like recommended to my live show unless I shout it out. And people on Rumble, I get random people recommended to the stream and stuff. It's just better. It's just better on Rumble if you're trying to grow in general. So another thing I wanted to talk about is I kind of want to wait to see if Joey shows up to talk about this. So let's talk about. So I talked about how there was a shooting in India. There was a bunch of people that had lost their lives, and it was because they weren't reciting Islamic verses, which is absolutely insane. But Pakistan was being accused of aiding this group. India was accusing them of not condemning the attack basically, and maybe even aiding it. So they shut off or they canceled a water treaty or something like that. And now Pakistan has decided to retaliate by shutting off the airspace to Indian aircraft, suspends Simla agreement after India's punitive action. So looks like tensions are escalating over there, guys. And whoa, what is that in the chat? Hang on, I gotta. Mad Stork isn't here to read for me. Let me read it before I read it aloud. Hope you do good. Hell yeah, man. Thank you, Amtrue. You got a $20 Rumble rant, guys. That is probably the largest Rumble rant I've ever received. Thank you, man. That's very appreciated. The climate crisis is all about power, control, and money. Glad you were doing this. Hope you do good. Hell yeah, man. I'm going to be doing this show as much as I can. Like I was saying earlier, I was saying it before everyone got in, but I am starting a new job next week, so I will need to figure out the scheduling for this. But I will, continue to put out videos and live streams. So don't you worry. It's just I don't make money from this. That's why I do those little, like 50-cent dollar ad reads when I can. I have no ad reads today from Rumble. But I gotta make some money. I got working man, like Blanco said, working man. So I'm no longer an unemployed Californian. I start a job next week. Yeah. So, but like I said, I'll be pushing out content either way because this stuff is very fun, and now I have a good setup. So yeah, look forward to more content and talking with you guys. But anyway, so yeah, I hope the relations in Pakistan and India can get resolved. Maybe it's just a misunderstanding, miscommunication. The attack scene, I don't know much about the politics of India and Pakistan, but from what I was reading, the militant group that committed the terrorist attack are unrelated to the government, but hopefully they don't, turn out to be actually related to the government or backed by the government, because that would definitely be bad for relations. We don't need more conflict on the planet, guys. There's plenty of conflict going on. There's China trying to escalate things with the trade war. We got Russia going with Ukraine still. They're still having multiple battles. 5,000 people losing their lives a day. That's an absolutely crazy number when you think about it. And then you obviously you still have what's going on in Israel and Palestine. All of this stuff is absolutely terrible. But we're gonna go and move things along. Uh, I might have Joey join me here at some points. That's why I have a couple of stories that I think are some good ones that I could talk about. But I'm waiting for Joey to see if he shows up. If he doesn't, I will still react to them. I'm gonna give him another like 10, 15. And then he's got his show next after this too. But let's see this article. So like I said, I was busy today, so I don't know what the contents of this article are. But Mad Stork, he had done some cursory research for me. He's the show's Jamie at this point. That's his nickname. After a month of searching, man learns from NBC News that DHS sent his brother to El Salvador. A Venezuelan man says he and his family back home have been anguished about the forced disappearance. So Adrian Leonel Rengel. Okay. So what happened? It was March 13th when netizen Alejandro Leonel Rengel called his brother Nia Yerver. How do you that? I've never seen that name before. I'm terrible with names, guys. To wish him a happy birthday. Alejandro never heard back from him. Federal agents detained Adrian on his way to his job at a Dallas barbershop. For the next 5 weeks, Alejandro had searched for Adrian, trying to learn where he was, deported to another country, held in an immigration facility in the United States. He and Adrian's live-in girlfriend called immigration and customs enforcement in Texas, getting shifted. Wait, what? Getting shifted from office to office with different responses. Sometimes they were told Adrian was still in detention. Another time they were told that he'd been deported back to his country of origin, El Salvador, even though Adrian is Venezuelan. Their mother went to a detention center in Caracas, Venezuela, where deportees are held when they arrive from the United States, Alejandro said, but was told no one by her son's name was there. So she actually went down to Venezuela to see if he was there. That's crazy. They enlisted the help of advocacy groups, Cristo Sol, a nonprofit organization in El Salvador working with families of presumed deportees to get answers from the U.S. and Salvadorian governments. But they had no answers. Same with the League of United Latin American Citizens, known as LULAC. Interesting. Let's see. For 40 days, they had been waiting to hear his fate. Finally, on Tuesday, an answer, the Department of Homeland Security confirmed to NBC News that Adrian had in fact been deported to El Salvador. The news saddens me a lot, shattered me. DHS didn't respond when it was asked whether Adrian was sent to CCOT, the mega prison in El Salvador. But Alejandro fears that the case, given the many Venezuelans who were sent to CCOT from Texas a few days after he was detained. So this is what we've been talking about. Looks like we got another Rumble rant. You guys are killing it with the Rumble rants today. I was about to go on a rant. I was about to go on a rant myself. The rant shall continue after this. Let's see. Bam, 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 bam. Thank you, Shitty Gov. Congrats on the job, Tyler. You're well on your way to becoming the proud owner of an AC/heater combo. Have fun fishing this weekend. Hell yeah, man. Like I said, maybe I'll take some videos of it. We'll check it out. Let me read some of the comments before I go on my rant. Joey's eating pizza, so he's busy. India and Pakistan is mainly over water, and China is not helping since they are building dams that are upstream from both India and Pakistan. Well, yeah, China is asshole. Don't trust China. More crap from the mainstream media. Yep, deport every illegal criminal alien. Period. And liberals, sucks to be this person that got deported, but he came illegally. Actions have consequences. 5 minutes. So Joey said he'll be here in 5 minutes. So what I want to rant about, Amtrue, which I completely agree here. I agree with what everyone's saying. Inventor of if you're okay, Blanca. But so what I wanted to rant about, right, is we've been talking about this, especially Mad Stork, I believe. Mad Stork's been ranting about this a lot. The Trump administration needs to work on its messaging. It's doing a lot of things and then explaining it weeks or months later. So we shouldn't have to wait 40 days for a response on where this guy was sent. They should know automatically. This should just be public record of where everyone's going and where everyone's being shipped to. I think everyone should be deported, illegal criminal alien, period. Everyone, deport all of them. But they do need to be sent back to their proper country. We shouldn't be sending them to places they're not supposed to be. And I do think there should be perhaps a very quick and speedy trial, depending on the situation. Just like real quick, we could just have a bunch of judges, line them up, be like, oh, can you prove if you're supposed to be here or not? No? Okay, get out. Planes outside, planes out back. Should be real quick process, bam, bam, bam. All of it should be public record. There shouldn't be any questions about where these people are being sent. And if they are sent to the wrong place, that does need to be corrected. Let's see. So there, El Salvadorian President Bukele says demons enter their hell. Alejandro said about the prison, speaking on the phone from the restaurant where he works, and my brother is not a criminal at this moment. I don't feel very good. The news has hit me like a bucket of cold water. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, buddy, but if he broke into the country illegally, that does technically make him a criminal. Luna loves BMW. Politics on Twitch. Hell yeah. Yeah, I just figured out how to actually tag things on Twitch, so maybe people will see me on Twitch now. We'll see. We'll see. It also depends on if Twitch wants to actually what's it called? Promote me. Got to get back to work, man. I'll be around more frequently now that tax season has finally ripped my soul from my body. Unfortunate back in Blanco. But good to see you around, man. Look forward to seeing more of you. True, I do agree. Later back in Blanco. Have a good night. Yep. Luna says, are you co-streaming on TikTok? No, I do not stream to TikTok, and I've never considered that. I don't think I will. I stream Luna. I'm primarily on Rumble. Rumble is the main source for everything, but I am also on YouTube. So if you want to check me out over there, but you can also follow me on Twitch. I don't have too many people watching me on Twitch, but I'm just trying to stream a little bit everywhere. But like I said about this story, yeah, it sucks that this guy, his brother, was deported, but if you came in illegally, man, I mean, that's kind of how it works. If it's true that he got sent to the wrong place, that's wrong. But again, you shouldn't be entering the country illegally. I don't know. Twitch reminds me of Tweak on South Park. I love Tweak. Tweak is an amazing character. Tweak and Craig. That one episode with the anime art, man, that was hilarious. Oh wait, did it send me to the? Okay, no, I clicked a different article. Oops. There was a similar article, but it was different. So the Rengels family experiences echoes the experiences of others who have encountered the Trump administration's mass deportation efforts. Sometimes their family members seemingly disappear after having been taken by immigration authorities. The administration has prioritized deporting men alleged to be members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Agua, which it has designated as a foreign terrorist organization under the 1700s era Wartime Alien Enemies Act. Well, yes, they are terrorist organizations. I mean, you just talk about the cartels. What are you saying, Joey? TikTok is CCP spyware. Yeah, that's why I try not to use it. I do have a clip from TikTok today, but you got to blame Mad Stork for that. I don't watch the news. I watch South Park. There you go. I have something to say about deporting to wrong country. Oh, really? Well, get up here, Joey. Where are you at? What do you gotta say? I am singing the song from the South Park episode. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I get the reference now. I get the reference. I didn't read that in a singing voice in my head. I read it very literally. Sorry. Apologies. I get the joke now. Anyway, so while we're waiting for Joey, let's read more of this. But again, this should all be public record. If like the family should be able to like look up a record of where their family member is being sent. I do think we should have that. We live in a day and age where technology is very easily accessible, especially for those in power that have infinite money. So yeah, set it up to where there's a system that people could just look up where these people are going. It should be easy. Let's see. Well, and yes, they should prioritize deporting members of gangs. That's just how it should be. See, Adrian entered our country illegally in 2023 from Venezuela and is the associate of Tren de Agua. Let's see. Tren de Agua is a vicious gang that does terrible things, is what I'll say, because YouTube, Twitch. But you can read it for yourself right there. And yes, they do those things. President Trump and DHS Secretary Noam will not follow foreign terrorist enemies, will not allow Red Bull. I read too quickly. To operate in our country and endanger Americans. They will always put the safety of the American people first. Yeah, no, that's what we should be doing, putting American citizens first. But again, if we did send this guy to the wrong country, that's not right either. So, two wrongs don't make a right, as they say. As for details and documents supporting DHS allegations of criminality, McLaughlin responded, "We aren't going to share intelligence reports and undermine national security every time a gang member denies he is one. That would be insane." What? As for details and documents supporting DHS's allegations of criminality, McLaughlin responded, "We are not going to share intelligence reports and undermine national security every time a gang member denies he is one. That would be insane." Okay, no, what's actually insane is that the government isn't providing proof that he's a gang member when they're alleging that he's a gang member. If they have the proof, they should absolutely release that. That's actually pretty crazy. Um, Joey, I would like your comment on this. That's that's an insane statement. Did you hear what I just read?
No, I had to mute the other stream and then get in
Okay,
here.
I'm gonna read this statement again.
Okay.
Asked for details and documents supporting DHS's allegations of criminality, McLaughlin responded, "We aren't going to share intelligence reports and undermine national security every time a gang member denies he is one. That would be insane." So if the government comes and claims that I'm a gang member and then my family members ask for proof, they don't have to do it because national security?
Well, I mean,
That's my question.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like the one of the main issues here about this is when people talk about, like, I think Joe Rogan. God damn it, the wires are crossed. I got to unplug. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh. Joey's rant has been halted. It's unfortunate. But no, that's an insane statement. I get that he's an illegal immigrant, but
yeah. So like when Joe Rogan was talking about this affects due process, what he means is not necessarily the due process of when I interpret it, was like, it's not the due process of the illegals, it's the due process of us, because now anyone can be claimed to be something and you don't need to show proof. And then I understand the urgency of going in to get rid of the illegals and all that, but like what you have to do is you have to get rid of the criminals first, and then you do have to show proof, because just in case you get somebody wrong.
yeah, no, that's absolutely insane statement to be like, no, national security, I don't have to give you any proof. What kind of proof do they have where, like, if they share it, it's gonna put national security at risk? Because if it's like, oh, here's a tattoo, like,
Yeah.
how is that a threat to national security? Like, I feel like if you can prove that they're a gang member, whatever proof you have wouldn't interfere with national security. That just doesn't follow.
Yeah, that's an absurd statement. This is akin to like shit like eminent domain and things in the National Defense Authorization Act, where they could just basically they come up with these vague terms where they could just claim something and there's nothing you can do because it falls under this little category that they've created with these ridiculous laws that they make. So this when people say stuff like when Tim Pool was talking about the TikTok ban, and he was talking, oh, it's only going to be for TikTok, and it's like, dude, they're so good at just taking things that are not intended for the original purpose and doing it for something else. And here's an example: we're supposed to get rid of the illegals, not supposed to be getting, And if you're going to do that, you got to give proof. I mean, you do have to give proof.
No, I absolutely agree, Amtru. It doesn't matter if they're in a gang or not. It's just because what we're talking about is, so they're prioritizing gang members for deportation, but when they're doing the deportations, they're not providing proof of gang affiliation status. So yes, of course, if if the government was just like, oh, they're illegal, we're deporting them back to their home country, but they're not just doing that, they're accusing them of actual legitimate crimes. And for example, when they get sent back to El Salvador for being accused of those
They're going
crimes,
to jail.
you
Yeah.
go to jail for the rest of your life. So if we're going to be sending people to jail for the rest of their life in another
Right.
country, I think we should be putting in a little effort to show that we have evidence of that.
Yeah, if you're taking a Venezuelan back to the Venezuelan tarmac on whatever airport Venezuela has, and you just release them and be like, well,
There you go, you're home.
try again the right way.
Yeah.
But if you're sending, because the reason that they're sending the illegal gang members to El Salvador, is what I was going to mention before, is the reason for it is because these other countries refuse to take them back. So this is like a backup option. These like Venezuela, I mean, these countries are giving trouble when they were trying to send these gang members back.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, Venezuela literally opened their prisons and told them to come here.
Mm-hmm. So these countries won't take them back. So that's the only reason why he's using El Salvador for the gang members. But if you're deporting people is one thing, but if you're going to say that they're gang members and put them in jail for life, that does create some sort of human rights crisis. Because like if it all takes is one or two people that aren't legitimately there to, what is it? Was it Ben Franklin or one of those guys?
Ben Franklin altered the quote, but yes, usually it's attributed to him. He says it's better that 100 guilty people walk free than one innocent man, be held for something he didn't do.
Yeah. So, and it's not really much of an inconvenience to say, let's just show proof of them being gang members. It can't. There's no way it could be a national. Like that's a total thing that George Bush or Barack Obama's administration would say. So to hear from the
and you probably didn't hear because you were getting set up. But what I was saying was like we live in a day and age where the government basically has infinite money. They steal, so much from us.
Yeah.
They could totally set up a system where they have all of this tracked. My family member gets deported, I should be able to look up their name and be like, oh, here they are. Here's where they're being held. Here's where they're being sent. Why is the government not tracking any of this? I was reading this story here, the particular story I have pulled up, Joey. Mm-hmm. It should not take the family 40 days to figure out where their sibling and their son was sent.
Yeah, these people have the technology, and we know they do. They have the technology to literally track every fucking thing you do. And now they don't, it's thinking, oh, well, all of a sudden now they're like, well, it's too difficult to do that. It's like, yeah, okay.
What? Yeah, and all I'm saying, true, is like, I'm asking our government to do better, right? I want them to have, I want judges to do their job. I want courtrooms with lines of 400 people out the door every day. And I want them to come up, be like, oh, you're being accused of gang member. Here's the evidence. Anything to the contrary? No? Okay, bye. Like, it should take no more than 5-10 minutes. And then for those that are just here illegally, nothing accused of gang affiliation. Can you prove if you're allowed to be here? No? Okay, planes out back. Like, that's what I want.
Send them back to their country. But gang members is different. I understand that, especially since it makes it even worse now that they're designated as terrorists. So you don't want to brand people terrorists. You can't claim national security because then there's that slither of a chance that you're taking someone who's not a terrorist, whether it be a normal illegal, not a gang member illegal, or a actual citizen that, what if they nab somebody that doesn't have their information on them and they just say national security risk, we're going to do what we want.
Yeah, every time I leave the house, I don't always have my ID on me. What if
they
never
pick me
up and they're like, oh, can you prove you're an American? Nope, get in the van. Mm-hmm. So
can you prove you're an American, Joey? I'm like, I only speak English.
Well, and then so this is the last quote I'll read, and because I do agree with it. Let's see. So his brother, Adrian's family denies that he's a gang member, which I don't know if he is or isn't. But for me, it's a forced disappearance. So this is from his brother. For me, it's a forced disappearance because he's not communicating with anyone. They're not permitting him a right to anything, and they're not giving him a right to a defense. From what I understand, here, we're all innocent until proved contrary. Yeah, no, I agree. You're supposed to be innocent until the government can prove that you're guilty. And if we're just saying that they're guilty arbitrarily because they're illegal immigrants, I don't think that's fair. I think we need to ask more of our government. But any final thoughts before we move on, Joey? Because I had some other stories I wanted to bring up with you before we move on to your show.
Yeah. No, I don't got any thoughts. Move on.
Okay, yeah, because I thought that story was a lot crazier than I thought it was going to be. Mad Stork sent that to me, and I went into that one blind. So Mad Stork actually wanted me to share this video with you. What do you think of this, Joey? This, guys, I know it's TikTok. I'm sorry, but here you go. So let's back it up.
Look how they taking money at Dunkin' Donuts, y'all. Like, come on, man. What is this? It's crazy.
The fuck?
Straight bulletproof glass through the whole thing, man. I mean, you can't even breathe on these people. Look how sealed this is. This is a professional seal. Like, you can't even talk to these people, barely. Appreciate you,
You
man.
have to pass some notes back and forth to tell them what you want.
Getting up every day and
Right.
seeing something like this, bro, that do something to your mental up here. It tell you, like, this how you feed animals in a zoo, gang.
Mhm.
Like, that's pretty much what it's telling your mentality. Like, I did say I don't trust you. You feel what I'm saying? At what
don't
point
trust
do
you.
we be like, we tired of getting treated like animals, tired of getting treated like this? Like, bro, like, you telling me I can't even hand you my money, gang? Like, bro, like, the people who be owning these don't be from the community. They don't be from the city. They don't. You grow up, imagine you see this every day for your whole life. And then you go to someplace else and you see them handing the money. You gonna think something wrong with you, gang. Like, it's crazy mentality.
Well, what are your thoughts on that, Joey? Because I mean, it is sad that society's at a point now where you have to go to a donut shop and there's bulletproof glass.
I mean, I guess
Society has fallen.
I guess it depends on the neighborhood, but like, I mean, this is like you wouldn't need this type of stuff if these areas just let people be strapped, because like the threat of other people having a weapon is, I mean, most criminals take advantage of the fact that they're the only ones that, especially in the cities, that they're the only ones running around with anything on them, because, you know, they're criminals. They don't care if they break the law. But if they knew there were law-abiding citizens, you don't know who the fuck's behind you when you're holding up the store. DTA,
Right.
don't trust anyone. We got a wrestling fan up in here.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to look at something on.
DTA, don't trust anyone. That's what Stone Cold.
But yeah, no, that's crazy. Like, I mean, I want to know where this is. What are your bets? This is California or New York?
Man, it could be both. I mean,
It could be both.
I grew up with a lot of friends that spoke like the way he spoke, so I wouldn't be shocked if it was New York.
I mean, a lot of the gas stations around where I'm at are like this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, it could be either. But like I said, society has fallen quite a ways if this is how we gotta get our donuts, man. See, Tactical Tinker says it's in Baltimore.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Baltimore and Southside Chicago are the one areas where the you got to judge by the exception, not the rule.
Absolutely, Joey. What do you think? Should I raid a random today?
You could try.
I think I should raid a random.
Yeah,
today.
I'll post my link if people want to, come to Butthead.
Yeah, if you guys want to check out Joey's gonna have a show after this. But guys, I need help finding someone that I need to raid. Who should I raid? But we have another story. We have another story.
Yeah,
so.
just click on the live thing and do it. That's what I do.
That's what I'm doing. I'm just looking through, seeing who's live. Interesting. Okay, so next story I wanted to pull up because I thought this one was funny because this gives us an opportunity to talk about insane asylums, Joey. Mystery surrounds man accused of chainsawing trees across downtown LA. This guy went on a rampage for a week and he cut down 13 trees and was trying to cut down metal poles with a chainsaw.
Wow.
What
is this, Grand Theft Auto?
Is this Grand Theft Auto? This is just I don't know, man. This is just the world we live in now, I guess. But what's called? So we'll get into it in a moment on the story. But let's see. Let's scroll down here. So the chainsaw attack on the trees in downtown Los Angeles came with multiple mysteries. One, who did it? What was the motive for such a bizarre crime? I have 35 years in the Los Angeles Police Department. I have never seen anyone go and attack trees, especially around the time of Earth Day. Oh, geez. LAPD Commander Lillian Carranza said. On Wednesday, authorities announced that Samuel Patrick Groft, 45, had been arrested in suspicion of felony vandalism and had been connected, or they had connected him to cutting down 13 trees in 5 locations across the city. He was arrested on Earth Day, which was Tuesday. He has an extent. Look at that on Earth Day, man. They really did save the trees on Earth Day, Joey. No, he actually had a chainsaw.
I know. Just making noises like he's Frankenstein's monster.
And they have a picture of him down here too. But he has an extensive criminal history, according to law enforcement sources, and once posted on social media that he believed his mind was being controlled by electronic weapons.
I believe it.
I believe it, man. Groff could not be reached for comment. The felling of at least 13 trees on public sidewalks over more than a week had sparked outrage across the city, with some suggesting the wanton vandalism marked a new low for a city that has been struggling with manifold social and economic crises.
I'm curious about the metal pole, though. Like, what, did he think it was a tree?
I don't know. Well, so we'll get into that comment in just a moment. Right after this Rumble rant, got another one from Amtruth. Wow, I agree completely. Every responsible adult should open carry everywhere. Makes for polite company. Absolutely, man. Especially in California. Imagine how different California would be.
New York too.
Just everywhere in general. A polite society is an armed society.
And I always hear the criticisms from like lefties. They're like, "Oh, well, everyone's just going to start shooting each other." I'm like, "No, they're not. Then they're going to go to jail for murder."
Yeah, that's not.
Nobody wants to go to jail for.
I always love that
years.
argument. You know what? I told my family, because we were talking about we were talking about politics and stuff. I won't say what story, but we were talking about how people back in the day used to be able to go to school and they would have shooting classes and stuff like that. And it's like, what happened to society where you used to be able to have children going to school with their own firearms, and now you can't even have adults with firearms?
Well, we keep letting the left win every fucking moment they get when it comes to cultural issues. I mean, we're getting it back with gun rights, though. It was much worse like 40 years ago.
Yeah. But what's called? So back to this story though. So why attack trees? When surveillance images of a bald and goateed suspect dressed in all black pedaling a BMX style bike, toting a dark backpack and large duffel bag were released, many wondered what could move a person to attack city trees. Groff, to law enforcement sources, bear a tattoo of the Roman numeral 666 on the back of his head.
Leave the trees alone.
Was taken into custody at a homeless encampment on Sunset Boulevard and Custer Avenue in Chinatown.
Wait, he's homeless, but he's got a fucking. You know what this reminds me? This reminds me of like a video game where like you do like random shit as a homeless person. You just earn points, and then there's like this one homeless guy that sells you a bunch of shit. You just buy a bunch of weapons from this homeless, and he's like, "I'm going to buy the chainsaw."
That's crazy.
Homeless with a chainsaw. I don't know. It's a great deterrent. I want to go near him.
Let's see.
All right, I'm going to duck out of here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm listening. I'm seeing who I want to raid.
All right.
Let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking at. So this story is absolutely crazy. If you guys want to go and check out Joey's got his own show. I'm sure he'll link it in the chat. But we're gonna raid somebody. I want to raid someone. We're trying to help out the Rumble community and stuff like that. So YouTube and Twitch, if you're not over here on Rumble, come over to Rumble. I'm going to raid somebody. I'm just trying to figure out who I want to raid. There's so many different people. I don't know a lot of Rumble creators. Tucker Carlson is apparently live right now on Rumble as well. But I'm trying to look for smaller creators. I'm trying to see who's got stuff going on. Who's this? This guy's talking about stocks. I'm trying to find another news stream. I don't want to send you guys to something too crazy. You know what I mean? There's people playing games. Let's see. Celebrate Truth. Who's this? So I don't know who this is, but I'll send you guys over here. They're doing a podcast. They're talking about religion stuff right now. So we'll send you guys over there. Homeless dude has ambition. Yeah, exactly right. But thank you guys. Good show today. Sorry I was a little bit late. I'm gonna figure out something tomorrow for you guys because I will be busy with my orientation at my new job. But I greatly appreciate everyone with the Rumble rants today. Ambrew, welcome to the channel. Good to see you, man. Thank you for all the Rumble rants. Shitty Gov, thank you. And Back in Blanco, thank you guys. Great stream today. And I'm gonna send the raid over to this guy. Let him know I sent you guys. I'm gonna listen into his podcast, see what he's talking about. But yeah, peace out, guys. Have a good one. And oh no, here comes the outro. Ba-bam. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the video today. If you thought that was a great video, great live stream, great whatever you were watching, make sure you hit that like, thumbs up, whatever you're watching, hit that follow, subscribe, and if you really want to support me, you could always share the video and comment down below. But thank you guys so much. Make sure you follow on Rumble, YouTube, and X. Thank you, and peace out.